in the heart of a chaotic city where the sound of honking cars, chattering pedestrians, and blaring horns blend into a constant, overwhelming din, a small, fragile figure was moving slowly through the streets. The cat, skinny, frail, and covered in patches of missing fur, was a shadow of what he once was. Emaciated, his ribs jutted out prominently beneath his mottled skin, and his eyes, dull and clouded, conveyed a sense of hopelessness that struck the heart of anyone who happened to look at him. He walked aimlessly, his frailty clear in every step. He had been through a lot in his short life, suffering from neglect, starvation, and sickness. But the worst of it was that he didn't even have a name. Not yet. He was simply another stray in the city, lost in the noise, his plight largely unnoticed. For this cat, life had been unkind, filled with only hardship and pain. But on that fateful day, everything was about to change. His story, one of endless suffering and sorrow, was about to take a turn toward hope. A hope that would come from the kindness of a stranger who had dedicated her life to healing animals like him. The rescuer, an experienced animal rehabilitation expert, had seen her fair share of neglected animals over the years. But something about this little cat struck her deeply. She was out on her usual rounds, checking on animals that had been reported as abandoned, injured, or in distress, when she spotted the small, weak cat wandering by the side of the road. His condition was so severe that it sent a pang of concern straight through her heart. She had dealt with many injured, sick, and frightened animals, but this one in particular was in an awful state. His body was a skeleton covered in what was left of a coat that had been stripped by neglect. His eyes were filled with confusion, but also a deep, inexplicable fear. The rescuer knew instantly that this cat needed help, and fast. With trembling hands, she carefully approached him, speaking softly, trying not to startle him. The cat, who was clearly unaccustomed to human kindness, backed away in terror. His weak body struggled to find energy as he tried to flee, but it was evident that he didn't have the strength to do so. The rescuer was patient, taking slow, deliberate steps to coax him into a safe cage that would take him to the shelter where he could get the help he desperately needed. Getting the cat into the cage was no easy task. He fought her every step of the way, his fear making him lash out despite his weakness. His body was in such poor condition that even the simplest movements seemed to exhaust him. But the rescuer, knowing that this was his only chance at survival, persisted. Eventually, after what felt like an eternity, the cat was secured in the cage, and they were on their way to the shelter. This rescue was not going to be easy. The condition of the cat, whom the rescuer named Bo-chan, meaning Little Bo, was severe. The shelter staff worked quickly to assess his health, but the news they received from the vet was grim. Bo-chan was not just underweight and weak, he had serious, life-threatening medical issues that would require immediate and ongoing treatment. Initial tests revealed that Bo-chan was suffering from Cushing's syndrome, a rare condition in cats where the body produces too much cortisol. This condition can lead to a variety of health issues, including muscle wasting, excessive thirst, and a weakened immune system. It was clear that Bo-chan had been living with this condition for far too long without treatment. In addition to Cushing's syndrome, Bo-chan had also developed diabetes, which had become severe. His blood sugar levels were dangerously high, and he had been drinking up to a litre of water daily to try to manage it. His body, already weakened by Cushing's syndrome, was now struggling to process nutrients and fight off infections. But the challenges didn't end there. The vet informed the rescuer that Bo-chan had also tested positive for feline immunodeficiency virus, FIV, a disease that can severely weaken a cat's immune system, making them more susceptible to infections and diseases. Fortunately, a follow-up test later confirmed that Bo-chan was actually FIV negative. That small bit of good news was a relief, but there were still many obstacles to overcome. In addition to these grave conditions, Bo-chan's liver was in distress, likely as a result of his long period of neglect. His liver had begun to swell, and his belly was bloated, indicating that it was struggling to function properly. His immune system was severely compromised, and his skin was a telltale sign of long-term malnutrition. His once thick and shiny coat had disappeared, leaving behind patches of raw, irritated skin. The rescuer knew that his body was fighting against many odds, but she was determined to help him. Despite the challenges, the rescuer remained steadfast in her commitment to help Bochan recover. At the same time, she was battling her own health issues. She'd recently been diagnosed with COVID-19, and her body was weak and fatigued from the illness. She had to take extra care in managing her own health, while still taking care of the animals in her shelter, many of whom required intensive care. There were other cats who needed attention, some in need of chemotherapy, others recovering from surgeries or illnesses. But despite her own exhaustion, the rescuer knew that Bochan needed her most of all. She began by getting Bochan on a treatment plan. His diabetes needed to be controlled with insulin injections, and his Cushing's syndrome needed to be managed with medication. This meant frequent blood tests every few hours, so that the vet could adjust his insulin dosage accordingly. The rescuer, though unwell herself, took on the task of administering these injections with the utmost care and precision. It was not an easy process, and there were moments when she questioned her ability to keep up with the demanding schedule. But for Bochan, she pushed through. Each injection brought hope. Each test result showed a small step forward. In addition to his medication, Bochan's diet had to be carefully managed. He was switched from dry food to wet food specially formulated for diabetic cats. This change helped regulate his blood sugar levels and provided the nutrients his body desperately needed. Slowly, but surely the excess thirst that had plagued him for so long began to subside. His water intake dropped from an alarming litre a day to a more manageable half-litre, a small but significant milestone in his recovery. His bloated belly also started to shrink, indicating that his liver was starting to function more normally. Over the course of weeks, Bochan's condition improved steadily. His appetite began to return, and with it, his strength. Though still far from healthy, Bochan showed signs of life that the rescuer had not thought possible when she first found him. His coat began to grow back in patches, soft. New fur replacing the patches of exposed, irritated skin. His energy levels improved, and he began to seek out affection. He would rub up against the rescuer's legs, purring faintly in appreciation for the care he was receiving. The rescuer too found strength in these small victories. There were days when she was exhausted beyond measure, struggling with her own health issues and the demands of running a shelter. But she never gave up on Bochan. She knew that he'd been through so much already, and now he was showing signs of resilience that inspired her to keep going. "It's exhausting," she said one day, "but when I see him improve, when I see his trust growing, it makes it all worth it. I know he's fighting. I have to fight too." Despite the ongoing challenges, regular insulin injections, constant monitoring of his health, and the daily care needed to ensure his recovery, Bochan's transformation was undeniable. His fur was growing back, and he was no longer the weak, terrified cat she'd found on the streets. He had become a beloved companion, his body healing, and his spirit growing stronger each day. But Bochan's story is not just his own. It is the story of countless other animals who suffer in silence, waiting for someone to step in and help. The work of rescuers like the one who saved Bochan is incredibly difficult and often underappreciated. It requires immense emotional and physical strength to care for animals who have been neglected or abused. But it is a labour of love, one that changes lives and makes the world a better place for animals who need it the most. Bochan's journey continues, and his future remains uncertain. Cushing's syndrome and diabetes are lifelong conditions that will require ongoing care, but Bochan will never face his battles alone again. With the love, care, and support of his rescuer and the community that supports her, he has a fighting chance at a long, fulfilling life. As the rescuer works tirelessly to care for Bochan and the other animals in her shelter, she's reminded every day of the power of compassion and the difference one person can make. Her work is made possible by the kindness and support of people who care about animals like Bo-chan, and she is forever grateful for their generosity. Thank you for watching Bo-chan's story. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories of hope and resilience. Together, we can make a difference.